Hey, Keith.
I feel like I'm... What? Yeah? Oh, it's like Yogi Berra said. It's deja vu all over again.
Deja vu. Nobody's buying electric cars, are they?
Nah.
Well, no, somebody better tell this company that nobody's buying electric cars.
And nobody's buying RVs either. Those two things together, but just a whole lot of nothing going on.
Whole lot of nothing going on, guys. Can tell you that pay attention, wake up if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the electric vehicle world, and most importantly, how we can charge them, but also how much COVID has changed our way of thinking and our way of life and how we can make a living.
You know, it's weird. I just had this conversation with a friend of ours earlier today, Jade, who you know, who has an RV, who has joined the the masses of people that aren't buying RVs, right?
Right.
And so we talked about on a previous podcast and video segment, and if you, by the way, thank you for subscribing. We just hit a huge milestone. We welcome you to the family, everybody. You can hit that subscribe button. It would be a huge help to us if you haven't already over on the YouTube side. But I digress. So we said quite a while back, hey, a great charging infrastructure solution would be RV parks, because many of them are already wired for 50 amp, which is what you're going to need for a lot of the electric vehicle fast charging. Okay?
Correct.
Now, the conversation that I referenced with Jade earlier, that's on a different... He's like, hey, dude. I was like, yo, dude, what's up? And that's how we talk to each other. And
yeah, we kind of...
Followed shortly by a, do you happen to have any Grey Poupon? No, I'm kidding. So he's like, hey, man, we're trying to like book this state park, and they don't allow me to run my generator at night, and my rig's all electric. And I went, yeah, this is kind of becoming a thing, right? So... so he has no way to heat his RV. So this is a luxury travel trailer manufacturer that would solve, Jade. They will solve your problem if you're willing to spend $250,000.
Correct.
But also, they're going to offer a feature to be able to charge an EV. Now, the company is Living Vehicles.
Living Vehicles. Yeah, they're out of California.
Or Living Vehicle. Yeah.
Living Vehicle. They're California-based.
Massive. They're covered with solar panels, right?
Covered with solar panels. They have different levels of depending on your charging needs and what you actually are wanting to do. So if you are an EV owner or a gasoline, internal combustion engine or diesel hauler or puller, you can hook this thing up to anything and pull it as long as your capacity is where it needs to be. So what's most interesting to Keith and I is the direction that they have gone. They are obviously understanding how the world has changed in that market sector. So
if you own an EV, like let's say a Rivian, and we'll get to them in a segment here in just a minute. Again, make sure you're subscribed to catch wind of that. You can charge completely off the grid with this thing, Jay. So it will now they have different levels of EV charging. Let me take a step back for just a second. The model that I pulled up here that caught my eye, because they have like a core model, a max model, and a pro model. Okay, I'm looking at their max model. It's like I'm buying an iPhone. Like I've got the Pro Max, the Max Pro, the Pro Max Pro, the Pro Cloud, Max Pro Cloud. I don't know what. Okay, so
So they actually have four. Four. It's Core Energy, Max Energy, Pro Energy, and Pro EV Energy.
Okay,
and they specify that by kilowatts per hour, their capabilities.
Okay,
which is very important.
I'm looking at the Max right here. Now, by comparison, you helped me put solar panels on my RV roof, and we shot that whole thing. It's on video. Again, go check it out. Subscribe to our channel. You can find it on our YouTube channel. It's in there. Okay. 2,640 watt solar capacity on their Max model. Okay. By comparison, those 3 giant panels that you helped me put on my roof, they were 190 watts each. So you're roughly 600 watts of power, right?
Right.
This is 2,640. And they tout things like You can run all night air conditioning, and they have to have massive battery banks in this thing to be able to do that. But you know, they call it a solar awning. The whole awning is just basically solar panels, which is clever. There's a lot of things about this that they just went, we're not gonna follow the traditional RV manufacturer style. We're gonna do this our own way.
And they should.
Looks, the design, the shape, everything is just sort of they're going their own way with this.
They definitely are. You see elements of maybe an Airstream, just by some of the rounded edges on the front side of that. It's really tall, which I like. That it gives. I did a little bit of a tour on the inside of some. If I went to their website and checked out some of the furnishings and the things that it comes with. I mean, this thing has got like a 70-inch entertainment system in it as well. I mean, it's. Some would think, well, this is a little bit overboard. Well, no, it's not, because people are taking what they had in a foundation type home because of COVID, and they've decided, you know what, we're gonna put that into an RV to where we can do the same thing at home that we can do out on the road and be away from people off the grid, but yet we can still charge everything up that we want to charge and live normal lives.
So two things come to mind in what you just said there. Number one, people are gone longer, and I'm no different, right? Like I've been doing, and I love that we're all sort of learning to appreciate the beauty of the outdoors. I just wish you all would stop trying to do it when I'm trying to do it, so I could find a place to park.
Hey, good luck with that, man.
But the other thing is, they're kind of taking cues from the tiny home movement. So your entertainment center that you talked about, where it's dropping down from the ceiling, and there's massive. Like if you look at their they're really showing the outdoor living space that they provide you, which helps you sort of extend and breathe. And that's the whole tiny home thing, right? Like get outdoors, do what you want to do outdoors. Stay active outdoors. And then, come back and eat, inside or shower or whatever, right?
Yeah. 232 square feet is what this particular model we're looking at is. It includes a kitchen, a bathroom, a lounge, and a living room. The kitchen has an island, a refrigerator, 3-burner stovetop, microwave, and a few other amenities.
They're going propane on the stove. Which is interesting because it's all electric, and they're going propane on the cooktop.
Right, but and here's the other thing. What else was well thought out about this living space, or this entertaining space, if you will? Let's face it. Over the last 2 decades, more and more people have gravitated towards larger, like entertaining spaces, like larger kitchens, open spaces, so that you can have dinner and talk and have people sitting around and being involved in the cooking process, which is a lot of fun. We all do it, grab cocktails or have a margarita night or whatever, and just everybody gets involved with the whole process. They have thought this thing out where the kitchen doesn't just stop there. It's got sliding glass doors. You can drop the outdoor deck and move that island out to the deck for like a bar and entertainment center out there as well. For you to hang out outside, so you're not just confined to
beer watching with the bears.
Beer watching with the bears. I love it. So here's what I thought was interesting, man. I love this, and that this is an option because this is more of the luxury side of things.
Yeah.
Is that the bathroom? It has this particular one has a skylight equipped rainfall shower and a toilet that can come with a bidet. So just in case you got a little bit of that stink butt, and you don't want to take the time to do other things, you can just always get a little splash and have a nice day. But the bedroom, it comes with memory foam, queen bed, skylight.
That's brings a whole new meaning to the. I'm gonna go freshen up, right?
I'm telling you, I'm freshening up, man. I tell you, but I mean, it's well thought out. They've got 228 cubic feet worth of storage space throughout the tiny home on wheels, and they reference it as a tiny home on wheels. It includes bedroom dressers, underbed units, and a closet. But again, the bigger part of this package is it's a luxury home on wheels,
without question, for a towable, starting at $250,000 and
right.
up. Yeah.
But to be able to be self-sustainable out off the grid
For
without
weeks
having
at a
to
time.
for weeks at a time until you actually need to go in and maybe get some supplies. It looks like this thing is so well equipped. This particular model is so well equipped that electricity may not be an issue for you unless it's like you live, say, up in the Pacific Northwest and we're in the wintertime and you don't get a lot of sun, but you still get some.
Yeah,
you will
but
capture some.
I've noticed, even with my 600 watts of panels on the roof on a cloudy day, you still get charged.
Yeah, you can get charged.
If you're trying to charge an EV or what, you're not going to get as much charge. So you always have to have more solar panels up there than you actually need, and that's one of the reasons why.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see this direction. Keith and I said, because what was the other Airstream was coming out with an EV assist,
and Camping World has announced that they were working on something, which I have yet to see that come to fruition, but it could still be.
That's
in the
right.
works, right
now. This particular model I think is around $250,000. Their Pro EV Energy, which is the one that you can literally plug in an electric vehicle to it and charge it and have no issues. That thing is right around $500,000. I think the sticker on it was $498. But now look, let's put that into perspective, okay? If your world has changed to the point to where it is no longer a situation where you are locked down to your home and you love getting out, let's say you want to go to Arizona for 6 months or you want to go to Florida for 6 months and not be stuck at home, again, this will give you the luxury of being at home while being able to do it, do everything else you normally would. Now, solar panel watts, I think they said on the 3,800, 3,080 total, which is an optional panel, optional high voltage alternator on this thing. Wow, it's just, it's so very well thought out with what they need to do for the power sources, man, the power packs, the actual getting electricity storage, and the energy. They are lithium batteries,
no doubt,
that are no doubt on board. And again, remember with lithium, you have that volatility potential, but these haven't tended to be that much of an issue. It's more the volatility becomes more of an issue when you're dealing with just a constant usage of up and down or improper charging or overcharging or those sorts of things that you can have an issue with. But I think that this is probably one of the most well thought out with that off the grid option that you have out there without having to add it on. In other words, you have the option to add it on from the factory. You just get it, you just pull it and go to where you're going to go and move on. The space, when you looked at it, it's very well thought out. When we were talking about the media space, Keith, as you well know, most people are, I say most people, there are a lot of people that are working remotely now. That seems to be the norm. And some weren't working remotely.
Yeah, they made sure that they featured that in some of their product documentation. I saw
absolutely,
that, yeah.
And I think it was a wise decision because they have the dining, lounge, media area, which is also the bedroom. It converts into the bedroom. In one of these, there is a office space there. So just keep that in mind. It's not like huge, but it is enough space for two people to sit, conduct business, do whatever they need to do. The thing is wired for internet. In other words, Cat 6 type plugins.
Yeah, let's say you're
if you were cable,
you're doing a remote video podcast YouTube.
Oh,
segment.
you mean like us?
Yeah, you got to bring your your broadcast hardware with you. There you go. Right.
There you go. So, and that's important because the lifestyles have changed where people can get off the grid and work. And, let's face it, employers and employees are living in a different world these days.
Yeah. So, and it's not just for people like us that are out recording, that are vlogging, right? Right. Clearly there's a market for that and a lot of people are doing that. But you have parents that have taken on the I guess with, homeschool, is that even a term we use anymore? Homeschool, or is it remote learning now?
I think it's called remote learning, virtual school. Yeah.
But wouldn't you rather hike through the Narrows in Zion National Park than read about them in a book? I mean, again, not while I'm there. Make sure you schedule it at a time.
Right.
Right. But the point remains, right? The advantage of being able to learn through physical experience, I think, has a lot of value.
Oh, I think so. I agree with you. I think it puts everybody in a good space in their head. There's going to be, while this is all different for us, after the pandemic and what things are going to look like, I think that we have learned to kind of fight back, if you will, in ways that are going to down the road benefit us long term. I think that the sociological effect that this has had on people, this is a great way to kind of regain that living life to its fullest mentality, because so it's a great sector of the business, and let's face it, nobody's buying EVs, right?
Right, not at all. Or like we started the segment, or RVs.
Or RVs. Nothing's changing, man. We're all doing the same. Yeah. You're just, let me whip out my horse and carriage and pull the wagon. So
I'll give you a call on my rotary phone later. We can discuss. That's
actually
what we're doing for the next fireside chat.
right. That's actually a good analogy for this, because the folks back in the day, man, they were pulling wagons across the country to make a better life for themselves.
We're
just
played
doing
enough
it in the
Oregon
modern
Trail
way
to know how that goes.
right. It's kind of similar, though. We're all trying in search of that better life, right?
Hey, don't take the shortcut through the mountains, people. Just
a
little professional advice there
from
a long-time Oregon Trail gamer.
Right. So if you've got a couple 100,000, maybe $500,000 to sink into one of these things, make sure you go check out these guys. I'm pretty interested to see where this goes. We'll keep you informed. We'll do another segment on some RVs soon. So stay tuned to that. Thank you for watching. Keith, happy trails, pal.
Happy trails, Jay.